Hey guys, Nick from Long Island Wargaming, bringing you a video from the archives. This is our legendary battle from 2009. This is a 5 foot by 10 foot table, I believe. It took us 3 battle mats to cover entirely. And here's our terrain. Now keep in mind this is from '09, so it is a 7th edition game. We got some Lizardmen and some Warriors of Chaos there. Here are some Warriors of Chaos that I painted up for the game, some Nurgle Warriors of Chaos. And just to give you an idea for our Forces of Destruction, we've got Orcs, Chaos, some Dark Elves, a little bit of Skaven thrown in there. So that, for the most part, is our Forces of Destruction. And then for our Forces of Light or Order, we got some Dark Elves, some Bretonnians, and some Lizardmen. I believe those were the 3 sides, and maybe a little mix in here of some other races. But for the most part, those are the 3 armies that are being pitted against each other. Now, if you see, this is the side of Light. And we got some Pegasus Knights back there, all sorts of infantry mixed in. Here we got some High Elves. Rich was sneaky and put these Eagles here to just mess us up from taking forever to get to him. And I did have some Chaos Knights coming from that side. I played Chaos this game, so it was a little bit of an extra trip to get over there. But the Eagles were a little bit of a pain in the butt. But we just have all these Bretonnian troops down the center. A bunch were proxied by men-at-arms because we just didn't have enough knights at the time. Here are some Lizardmen and some High Elves. And then infantry just across the board. Little to no cavalry from the High Elves and the Lizardmen. And then here's the Forces of Destruction. We got some Orcs on the side, some Chaos Warriors mixed in, a nice Dark Elf Dragon. And here's just a view of the battle line. It looks like Chaos got turn 1. Everything moves up. Our fast cavalry, the harpies, the giants. Looks like the dragon didn't move up too fast. All the way at the end there, we have all that cavalry that marched up real quickly. There's a picture of Rich, Peter, and Evan. There's Chris and John. John was the orc player. Chris was Dark Elves. Just a shot across the board. We got some shades there. Cavalry running up quick, like I said, those harpies just to go get in the way or something. Our orcs and goblins moving forward, some faster stuff. Since the Hydra is a scrimmaging unit at the time, it got to move through the forest, no problem. And then all the way at the end, we had those High Elf Eagles messing up our cavalry, just getting in the way. I think I had all Khorne Knights too at the time, were ridiculous because I think the mounts still got the frenzy, which was huge on cavalry. So here's that other angle. You could look to the right there. I have all those knights. There's a juggernaut in one of the knight units, and then I've got a dragon ogre Shaggoth chilling out there behind those Cold One knights. There's a chaos spawn taken up from behind, and some orc archer boys running for the hill. And then everything is just kind of chilling out behind. Cool shot. Now it looks like the forces of good. Looks like Evan's moving up his skinks to go get in the way. Yeah, the Bretonnians didn't move up too far. I mean, you're gonna wait for the enemy to get closer and then hit them with your lance formation. Looks like the elf infantry all the way at the end there moved up full. Probably gonna go for some flanking action. There was a second Hydra up there in the middle, just running forward. Those orcs, got some black orcs, some regular orc boys, a doom diver there. We got some marauders coming up from behind. I don't know why I only brought 10. Maybe I ran out of room and I just threw them behind the warriors. I think they were just straight up flails, which, you know, were good when you would charge with them since you would strike first. Here's a nice shot down the battle line. Just an awesome game. Here's a little hill of some artillery, some repeater bolt throwers, and some spear chuckas, a doom diver, and yeah, all those elven infantry moving up full. We got some boar boys, some marauders with javelins just taking up some space. We tried to use as many models as we could. The 15 warriors, chaos warriors there. Just a whole lot of models on the field. Nice clean shot here. It's a lot of lizard men. Those are some scary blocks of lizard men. I'm not quite sure whose turn this is. It might be their turn still, or the good side, I should say. Long way for those cavalry to get over, and you can see there's an eagle behind just block marching, which is annoying because you didn't have that option to leadership test march. Here's another swipe of the battle lines. Got some chaos ogres in there. Look like the orcs are completely fine. There really was little to no, I'm going to actually just straight up say no shooting from the good guys. That giant charge to the Stegodon, which is awesome. And in this edition, when you strike, you get to go first. So he gets that odd chart he gets to roll on, which is pretty good against giant things. Nice shot of the battle line again. Everything's starting to get a little bit closer. Got these Pegasus Knights that are just chilling back there. They're really on reserve, I guess, this game. There's also a Slan there next to the big rock formation. And the giant just takes his whatever weapon and just wipes out the Stegodon's feet from underneath him. I guess there was a skink mounted on top there, so he is down there now to get eaten. Nice. Nice shot. I like those Chaos Warriors coming up from behind. Some Orc boys just chilling in the reserves. Pegasus Knights moved down a little bit. I guess that empty base is where an eagle should be, perhaps. That Hydra's coming around. They weren't thrilled with the Stegodon getting knocked out, so it looks like we just got charged by men-at-arms and some elf spearmen, so we'll see how long the giant lasts. A lot of proxies for the knights. This was Peter's army. Nice shot here. I think a key to a good battle report at this point is also get a nice camera. I use a digital Rebel with a nice big flash on it. You can see a nice crystal clear photo, at least before I compress it and upload it. They're crystal clear, but YouTube always does funky things to your videos. The Hydra looks like he got in there somewhere. Let's see. This picture isn't that clear, but yeah, the Hydra charged some knights, which is pretty crazy. He'll probably blow them up. Sorry, these shots are going really quick, but it's still pretty cool. Untouched Chaos Warriors. In 7th edition, 15 Chaos Warriors in combat. Quite a mess. Yeah, nothing too. There's the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth behind those Cold One Knights. Looks like a cool picture. The spawn's eating up the eagle from behind because we have that eagle that's block marching us. So the spawn was good because he just turns and does his random move. They repeat a crossbow. We're trying to kill him. Another Hydra just chilling out. This is the shot behind the Dark Elf Commander in our legendary battles. I don't know if this was a legendary battle rule or a house rule, but we gave our generals, like, I don't know, a huge inspiring presence, or now it's called inspiring presence, but at that point it was just a big range. We had one leader, one general for each side that helped all the armies. I think we did use the rules where certain armies weren't too fond of each other, so they couldn't flee through them, or something funky like that, but These photos are just of us talking or whatever. You don't see me in any of these pictures because I'm behind the camera. Oops, fanatics, we forgot about them. So they come out and pop out and kill the boar boys because the elves came close enough to activate them. So they come out and kill the boar boys, kill some high elves, but that's pretty funny. We figured might as well just kill the boar boys and send them backwards and waste the 75 points or whatever they were at the time. Cavalry are finally getting a little bit closer. And the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, I believe, gets taken out by some initiative spell, some BS from the High Elves. So he just takes an initiative test, fails, and I think just dies. I don't know, maybe at the time it was Pit of Shades, perhaps? But the Cavalry are getting awfully close. Now, those Khorne Knights of Chaos are just going to destroy when it comes time. Chaos Warriors coming to help the Giant, which is still freaking alive. They were needing, I think, 6s to hit it, or 6s to wound it or something. They just couldn't roll a 6. I also don't remember what mark I gave him, but I think at one point he rolled Yell and Ball, which means he just straight up won, even though he got flank charge and all this stuff. But I think the Giant's also stubborn, I believe, so maybe he just kept passing his leadership test and not dying. This is the far right flank. The boar boys, or most of the boar boys are dead. I guess one survived. Hmm. Bretonians finally get a charge in. Ugh. Looks like our Dark Elf General and Dragon is coming in to kill off the Slann. It's always fun. Some Bretonians doing some damage. It looked like there was some clipping action there. Good old 7th edition. That freaking giant is still going, man. Good grief. They were probably getting +1 combat res on the hill. I think that was something in 7th edition. Warriors are going to wreck those Cold One warriors. Not Cold One, sorry, Source warriors. Another picture of the giant, really? Okay. The Pegasus Knights are going behind the cavalry, so odds are they'll charge them and destroy them, but the cavalry are closing in. The Skinks are there as some chaff. They'll probably do some counter shooting and then just die and get overrun. Looks like some Cold One Knights got destroyed by the High Elves. These pictures are a little redundant. Oh, sorry. I should have just left that one in. That one is the most crystal clear, but yeah. There's the cavalry again. I probably took a bunch of pictures just because this was like the only role I had in this game, except my warriors in the center. We're just getting those freaking monsters of Chaos Warrior Cavalry into combat. There we go. Finally. The skinks must have fled, and I just ran right in. So hopefully the hero probably ate a whole bunch of high elves. I don't remember at all what happened, but yum, yum, yum. Just eating all those guys. So that's the right flank. Finally, the cavalry got there. You can see to the rest there's just a lot of open space now. Sorry, I must have been really excited to finally get my guys in combat. Took so many photos. The white lines are dwindling down to the point where maybe that was a challenge? Or maybe just one guy was left alive? That was probably a challenge of some sort. Maybe that was a hero and just a champion. Oh, there's some rat ogres in there. There were some rules for bringing in races or other races or whatever. Oops, this picture is of nothing. That's Evan, Peter, and Rich from left to right. Some orc boys and some goblins. The Stormmasters of Hoeth probably did a whole crap load of damage. The Bretonnian Knights are just cleaning up the field at this point. They're just running around all over the place. Looks like those guys came from behind. Yeah, because my cavalry finally broke through. You can see there. Everything kind of wiped out where the white lines were, where my Chaos Knights were, and everything's coming. Essentially, we did like a little base trade, or a little side swap. Base trade, that's StarCraft coming out of me. Yep, Bretonnians do a cleanup. Dark Elf Infantry are going to be dead. I don't think the Pegasus Knights ended up doing too much this game. I think the spawn held them up. when they lose Lance Charge, I don't know what strength they go down to. I don't know if it's 4 or 3. They just couldn't kill the spawn or something silly. But and here's the quote-unquote empty battlefield. Still probably about 100 models left on the battlefield, but maybe a little bit more than that. But that was it. Bretonnians cleaned up. So I don't remember the exact victory point breakdown, but I do think that we gave the victory to the side, to the good guys. I don't know, forces of light, forces of good. Um, but I don't know. It was just a fun game, and I mean, I haven't really tried a legendary battle or grand army battles or whatever in 8th edition, just because I just don't feel the rules are what I'm looking for. I mean, I'd probably have to make some nice house rules and some modifications, but that game was fun because we just had blocks of 20 infantry, 25 infantry. It wasn't excessively big, and it was, I mean, if you lost one unit, it wasn't the end of the world. Where now in a points game that big, and I think that I was, I don't know, 13,000 points in a game right now with the way hordes and whatnot are going. If you lose your horde of 50 guys, it's a big hit. But like, I don't know, I just don't enjoy that style of play. Where I think if I did another game this big, I'd probably try to do it without hordes, because I don't know. We've always liked the more maneuverable units and the fact that you could punch a hole in someone's line, but they still are strong. Where now, if you punch a hole through 40 Savage Orcs, you know, you're in good shape. That's probably game. Or if you know, destroy the entire unit of 25 Chaos Warriors, you know, you're fine. You got the game. So I just don't like that make or break. So this was pretty interesting. We had those big wide battle lines, and this is a little bit nicer than the first legendary battle we did because we had some nicer terrain, and we had all the battle mats, which make the battlefield look a lot nicer. So, but so this was the second video from the archives, just some old photos I'm going through. So I'm gonna get as much up as I can, but at some point I'll run out of old stuff. But hopefully you guys enjoy this. It was a big fun game. And yeah, comments, questions, subscribe, please, of course. And thanks for tuning in.